Yesterday we started business partner. So the importance of the the concept business partner, it is just to avoid the master data duplication. Okay, so it means if at all we have a person working as both customer and vendor in the normal in ECC, we have to create both as vendor and customer, right? So this is basically a duplication on the master data front. So this is the main reason why we have a business partner. When I say business partner, it can be a vendor or it can be a customer. Now, how can we differentiate if a if a business partner is a customer or vendor? How can we differentiate? This is with the help of a concept called business roles. Okay, so basically business role will give us what kind of a vendor or customer is. I mean, if you see if you see in ECC, when you are creating vendor or customer, we normally consider different views like sales organization. If a customer is there, okay, we will be creating the customer in the sales organization. And if at all we have a vendor, we will be creating in purchase organization or company code views, right? So that is what basically the business partner role is. So business partner basically differentiate what kind of the transactions that we are doing with this particular vendor or customer with this particular business partner. So basically the business partner, when I say vendor, whether this particular vendor is a employee vendor or outside vendor, finance vendor or material vendor, so that is what basically talks about the business role, business partner role. So let's get into that business partner role and let's create something, okay, there in that. So go into go into cross application component, and here you have one thing called SAP business partner and master data synchronization. These two are important. Okay, so just expand business partner, and here you have business partner basic settings, and here you have business partner roles. Within that you have defined business roles as I mentioned. So it means if at all we are dealing with sales and purchases, and the same person is also act as an employee vendor. So in all these cases, normally in our ECC, we used to create separate vendor. Suppose if we have a vendor, employee vendor, okay, we will be, if a person is there, he is a employee for us, and the same person is selling goods to us, and the same person is purchasing goods from us. So in such a case, we used to create three different master data. Now here we are not going to create a separate master data for each of these. Instead, we will be creating roles. When I say employee, I'm not going to have a separate code. I will just create a role for that BP role. So basically BP role differentiates, all these types of scenarios. So let's get into define BP roles. Just execute here. Here we have different BP roles. All zeros is a standard one, and BUP 001, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all the standard BP roles. Now, before we go and create the BP roles, First, we will have to create BP role categories. What are these categories? Okay, basically, we have three different types of categories here. I'm just double clicking on that. Now, if you see over here, it is just a code, okay, but we'll have some information. Now, here again, BP001, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the standard SAP standard role categories, BP role categories. Okay, if you go into one item, just double click on this or you select here, go to details. The, this is the important, this category is the important. Possible business partner categories. I mean, whether we are using this BP role category for organization or person or group. So organization in the sense it can be any kind of business organization. Okay, individual person, nothing but an individual. We are we are using this business category to a particular person. I mean particular person in the sense it is used only for individuals. It means we cannot use basically it should not be allowed. I mean we should not be allowed to create the BP for a company XYZ company because you have selected it for person, individual. Group in the sense group of people. It's nothing but a partnership company, partnership forms in a way. So we can select all of them or you can select the relevant one. This is basically tells you the BP category, business partner category. I mean, for which this category is going to be used. Are we going to use this business partner role category for individual, company code or group of people? How are we going to use this? And you can select all of them or you can select the relevant one. Okay, so this is basically the BP role category. Now here this is just a name description. Now differentiation type. What exactly this thing is? Okay, so differentiation type. So do you want this category to be used for general data, which is nothing but a base, right? So in order to create any vendor or customer, we used to create first in general data, then followed by company code data, followed by purchase organization and sales organization. So similarly, here also the same. Zero is the general data, which is nothing but a base. Apart from that, we have company code data, financial product. I mean, we have different scenarios where we can use purchase organization, sales area data. These are the one that normally we will consider, but zero is for general data. Based on that we will be creating our vendor or customer business partner. So this is what we call it as differentiation type. Now, so in order to create our own, just you can go and create in the new entries, or you can use the standard business partner role categories. So standard are these: BUP 001, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And even if you select employee, it's going to be the same. So person, it is a person, it's a 0. And if I select something like organization unit, okay, now here you will be finding the organization. Okay, so we have different categories for each of these, but if you want, you can create, you can have one category considering all of them. It means individual, then group, and and organization. You can select all of them for one in one of the role categories, business process role category. So these are the standard ones, and you are not allowed to change anything. I mean, if you want, we can change, but it is not advisable to change. If you want to use, you can use them straight away, or if you want, you can create a new one using the new entries. Okay, if you want, you can create a new entries. Just put some name 1248. I'll say business partner role category. Okay, and differentiation is going to be 0. I want to use it for all of them, or I can select only a particular one just to save. Okay, that's it. So I have created one role category. Now we will use this thing in our BP roles. Okay, so in BP roles, as I mentioned, these are all the standard ones. You can straight away you can use them, or if you want, you can create your own. I'm just selecting all zeros, selecting the same thing, going into details. So here I will be selecting BP role category here, the one what I have created just now, 1248. I can create and I can assign it over here. But since this is a new one, okay, this is a new, uh, you know, what do you call, sorry, not the new one, this is a SAP standard one, so we are not going to use this. Okay, there is another one called BP views. If you don't assign anything, again BP views, in the case of BP views, we have some standard, all zeros is a standard one, BUP 001, 2, 3, 4, and 5, these are all the SAP standard. SAP standard BP views. In order to create BP views, we have a transaction, we have a path. I'm not sure again the particular thing, but there is a um, burst. One second, I don't remember exactly the T code. Burst, no, BURD, no, mm, BUDS, no. Okay, BUSD. I think, yeah, BUSD is the path. BUSD is the path. Okay, this is what basically BP views. Now the important thing is this, basically the views. If you see over here, I'm just selecting this one and double clicking on screen sequence. What are the screens basically you need? What are the sequence? What are the screens do you need? I mean, do you need sales organization view? Do you need purchase organization view? Do you need company code view, or do you need what else? Do you need employee related views? So if you want all of them, you can keep all here one after the other. Okay, screen sequence, we call it a screen sequence. So if you go in the drop down, you will be finding all of them. Okay, so I don't know why the screen the description is not available, but you know, right. So normally we will have a description for all of them. So uh, each one of these screen sequence will give you a different information. Okay, what are all sequences, what are all screen sequences available? So normally what we will do is we will go and use all zeros, and we within that we have BUP1, which is a standard one. So what all sequences we have, screen sequences we have under this, that we can see in the front end. We can view them. Okay, so BU, what is that? BUSD, BUDS. BUSD is the transaction code. Yes, BUSD is the transaction code. So remember that transaction code. I think we have a path, but I'll trace that out and I'll give you that information tomorrow. I really don't remember the path. Okay. So this BP view will give you what kind of screens that we want to use for a particular role, for a particular business role. So again, I'm going into define business role. Here we have, as I mentioned, we have the standard one, all zeros, BUP 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if I select BUP 001, go into details, again, you can find all of them. So BP view, okay, and BP role category, this is the one what we have seen just now, just a little while ago. Okay, what is this hide? Okay, before getting to that, standard assignment of BP role to BP role category. Now, if I click on F1 over there, I really don't remember clicking on standard assignment of BP role category, standard role that is assigned to a role category, standard role. Suppose several roles can be assigned to a role category. Okay, so standard role that is assigned to a role category, standard role that is assigned to a role category. So whatever the role category, if for every role category there will be a standard role, it seems that will be assigned to this role category. So if you want, you can select that, or of course it is not important that to select, because I don't want to consider the standard thing. I want to have my own. So then you don't require to create your create here. You don't require to select here. So BP role category we have seen. Coming to the hide. If I select hide here, what happens? This role category, this BP role will not be able to see in the drop down. Okay, so if I just select, if I say hide, it means we will not be able to see this BP role in the drop down. Okay, so that is the meaning of this, and it is just a tile and title and a description. So if I want to create my own, I can create using the new entries. Okay, I can go and create the new entries. So let me create that. Go into new entries. I'll say 1248 business partner 1248. I'll say business partner 1248. Then role category, we have created our own role category, and BP view. If I don't select any BP view, system always consider all zeros. By default, system will consider this. So if I want, I can select the relevant business view, or I can select all zeros. Even if you don't select anything, system automatically will take the same thing. Okay, just enter and save. Okay, so if you see, yeah, now I'm just deselecting this and I'm saving. It says as a standard assignment BP role to BP role category. What does it mean? It means even if I don't select, system is assigning the standard category. Let, if you see over here, I'm not selecting anything, and when I'm saving it, it is allowing me to do that. So what does it mean? We don't require to have, we can create our own, and even if you don't want the standard one, the standard categories to be assigned to this category, so still we will have to do that. Still we are considering the standard. standard roles are being assigned to this BP role categories. Even if this BP role categories are own created one, so we will be assigning this. Now I'll show you one thing here. I'll just go back to this BP role and I'm selecting BUP 001, going into details. Here, BP role category BUP 001, which is a category. This category can be seen here. I'm just selecting this BUP 001, going into categories BUP 001, BUP 001, and here double click on the category. This is for person. Okay, so we have created a category. This is a standard SAP standard category, and this category is assigned to BP role BUP 001, and you can see the standard assignment of BP role to BP role category is selected. Now when I go back and select the organization, okay, BUP 004, going into details, and you can see over here. So what does it mean? It means whether it is a standard category or the created one, system is considering the standard role and assigned to this category, BP role category. That is the message we can see over here. So a category may contain, if you see over here, several roles can be assigned to your role category. You have to define one BP role as a standard role so that only one role can be read when programming the role category. The following fixed values for domains are defined. See, select yes. Initially it says no, but when the moment we select save, it is happening automatically. So what it is, standard role that is assigned to your role category. The standard role will be assigned to the role category. So what exactly, how does this help us? That we will see during the creation of business partner. You will understand that this part very clearly during the creation of the business partner. Okay, so let me create a business BP role, define BP role. I think I have created, I think I'm not saved. Oh, saved. Okay, I'm just selecting the same thing, going into details. I can see 1248. Now just to save it. So it is BP role. BP role is created. Okay, next. The important, the other important is, let's go into master data synchronization. This is the most important step. Master data, I think, do we have here synchronization customer vendor? No, not here. The field status, I think it will be here only in the SAP business partner. Let's say business partner basic settings. I think, yeah, field groupings. Field groupings. Configure field attributes per business role. Okay, so configure field attributes per business partner role. The path for this is IMG cross application components, SAP business partner, business partner, basic settings, field groupings, and configure field attributes per business partner role. This is the most important step here. It happens automatically, of course. So the moment I execute here, okay, configure field attributes for each role category. Just double click on that. Here you will be finding different BP roles, different BP roles. Now, if I select here again BUP 001, 2, 3, 4, these are the one we have already seen BP role in the BP role. Now, what exactly this talks about? Configure field attributes. We are configuring the field attributes. What are these field attributes? While creating the business partner, what kind of data do you want to keep them as required? Do you what are the data you really don't want in the screen? So field status basically, that will talk about this. Now I'm selecting this, going into field groupings. Here you can see addresses. In the case of address, we have these many descriptions and it says as not specific, display, optional, required, hide. Now if I select hide and click on F1, so no documentation. Of course, documentation is not available. What exactly this hide is? What do you mean by hide? You know, so this field will not at all appear in the screen. This field will not at all appear in the screen. And what is required? Required means this field is important for us. Without that, we cannot proceed further. What is optional? We don't have documentation at all for in this case. So optional is the one that is available and system will allow you to save even if you enter or even if you don't enter. Then display in the sense it is available as a grayed out and we will not enter anything. The system will not allow us to enter anything. So not specific, it means we are not sure whether it is required. So if you select this not specific, it will not at all appear in any of the screens. Okay, it will, I mean, we are not at all considering these fields in our what do you call BP master creation. It is simple. It is simply what we can say as kind of hide. It is kind of hide. So we are not able to, I mean, in the case of hide, it's basically, we are not at all allowing them to be appeared in the screen. Similarly, not specifically, we are not specific in the sense we are not at all considering them. We are not at all what I can say is we are not at all considering these fields in our business partner master records. So these are the fields that are available as part of addresses. Now, the moment I select bank details, double click here on this, you can see here business hours, central data. Like that, we will find multiple details, multiple other fields. All these are based on the BP role. So the BP role, we have created our own BP role. So we are not finding all of here. Okay, either you can create, either you can enter over here. See, you cannot enter your own. You cannot create your own. The moment I say it says does not exist, it means the configuration we have done earlier on the BP role that is the base step for this. So if you select here in the drop down, you would be finding 1248. You can select like this, okay, and select it here, go into field. You can have all of them. These are all happening automatically. Or what you can do is you can just copy, select anyone. Basically the standard we will select, copy it to 1248. You can do anyways. Now here also if you select the field groupings, whatever we have the field groupings for this will get copied here. If you select the existing one, whatever the existing has the properties, all will get copied. That's the difference. So the data set, all these things will come up based on the views that we will discuss later, not at the moment. It is, those things are not important at the moment. We will discuss them clearly during the front end. Okay, so we have created, we have made our BP role available in the field groups, field attributes. Okay, in the field attributes, just save it. Okay, so this is the important step from our perspective, from the business partner perspective. Next, we need the number. We need the number range. Number range will be here. Number ranges will be here. Okay, so I'm just expanding define number ranges. Path for this is IMG cross application components, SAP business partner basic settings, number ranges and groupings, define number ranges. Followed by the number ranges are to be assigned to our groupings. Now, what number range do we need to consider? Yesterday we were discussing about this thing. So in finance, we have already completed some configuration around it in the last class. Okay, in the last session, we discussed about that. Okay, so we went into financial accounting, accounts receivable, accounts payable, vendor accounts, master data, preparation for accounting, then assign number ranges to vendor account groups. Here, what we have done, we have created our own 1248. It is 0 to, and what is the number range for 0 to? For 0 to we have maintained 2 lakhs to 2 lakh 99. As I said earlier, so the number range between these two should be the same. And the number range, whatever we have in finance, should be selected as external. If we don't select this, then we have one step during that configuration, we will see an error. We will see an error. Okay, so and the best approach is, the best practice is to consider the same number range. Okay, whatever the number range we have considered in finance, let's consider the same thing in the business partner configuration. So 2 lakhs to 2 lakh 99 999. So let me go there and let's complete that. Okay, so define number ranges, execute, and intervals, select change intervals. 0 to we don't have, and 2 lakhs to 2 lakh 99. So in order to do that, just enter here. This is what the insert line. So I'm selecting 0 to 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs 99 999. This cannot be an external. This cannot be considered as an external. The one what we have in finance should be maintained as an external. So specify intervals without overlap. Somewhere it is happening. Yeah, here we have. Okay. So what we can do now is I will just make it as 210. I'm just changing the number range here. I will say 100 or 0, 99, 99. So what I will do now, I'll create here with 2 lakh 100, right? I can say that 2 lakh 100 to 2 lakh 99. Okay, to all 9 nines. Now I will have to maintain the same number range there also. So changes were saved. So what I will do, I'll maintain the same number range there also in finance. Okay, I will minimize, go here and define number range for vendor accounts, execute, change intervals. Here I will say 100. Okay, I'm just maintaining the same number range and save. Okay, so we have synchronized the number range between finance and business partner. The number range is the same. Okay, now in finance, it is required to be maintained as an external, whereas in BP, it has to be considered as an internal. So here it should always be the internal. We should not select this part, external part. Okay, so then this number range has to be assigned to this grouping. This grouping is just similar to that of the grouping, the one we discussed from the finance perspective. Okay, so this grouping, then we will have to create this grouping and we will have to assign the number range what we have created just little while ago. After that, this group and the group what we have created in finance have to be maintained, have to be mapped. Okay, have to be, we have to establish the link between these two in the next step. Okay, so we will continue this tomorrow. Any questions? Of course, you may have questions, but during the front end, when we are discussing, it will be more clear for you.
You did not tick mark on external.
Exactly. So we will have an error. That time I'll come
Oh,
back and
okay.
maintain
I
the same
see.
thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
system will give us one error.
Okay.
Any questions? So
No,
today I'm totally hectic. It was
but,
my hectic day today.
but Nanda, I told you, right? We should not have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
class